he leads a shadowy existence. As experts, we talk about a self-help equipment for everybody, a first aid tool in case of developing fire, a symbol for omnipresent civil defense. This tiny red helper is said to be a reliable partner for the citizen to get a grip on open fire before it is out of control. This is why we are common that every public building, every working place like factories, refineries, workshops, offshore drilling, shops, bureaus, governments have to be equipped with a sufficient number of fire extinguishers, as they can be CO2, foam, or powder. The question is, does the existence of any extinguisher automatically mean that he is ready for use in case of emergency? A fire extinguisher is a technical instrument. Every extinguishing agent must be stored inside the container without losing its chemical characteristics. Moreover, this is a pressure vessel. It has to resist up to 16 bar pressure from one moment to the other or permanently. Imagine that is 5 times as much as your car tires endure. One hairline crack, one micro leakage, and we are confronted to an originally sealed unit that does not work anymore. Any one of us knows the countless examples of the daily routine of a security administration. We are confronted with extinguishing vessels of minor quality, manometers with unreliable display status. Pressure is indicated, although the vessel is depressurized for a long time. It is reported of extinguishing pistols malfunctions, blowing the extinguishing agent to the territory, but not to the target of fire. Already used equipment has been hung back at the wall. Fall-over extinguishers were starting to rust. Recently labeled units contain unusable extinguishing agents, rotten foam liquid, agglutinated powder. They are new units, originally packaged, and they are inoperative coming out of the box. This is why we are focused in inspection and maintenance of the devices. Our target is not only to enable the civil defense, but also to guarantee it in case of a beginning disaster. But what about our guarantee claim for the functionality of all the extinguishers in our field of responsibility? Is there a failure rate? 1 of 10? 4 of 10? I'm talking about a German fire prevention officer who told me on an exhibition that was 1 month ago that there was a fire on one floor of a building. And it was the fourth extinguisher they had to carry to the place which was finally working. In Germany we say burned money, or better to say burned trust. You are the experts. We are the experts in fire protection, and we are aware of these backgrounds. We have the professional view, the trained eye on any extinguisher we see day in, day out, in a hotel lobby, in a conference room. The end user is not obliged to have this expertise and know-how. He's counting on the functionality of that red balloon hanging there in the corner. Who expects a broken extinguisher to be in service? Nobody does. But it is in our responsibility to assign service technicians to care for functionality, careful working, qualified staff performing the procedures properly, with their identity in handicraft profession, and how to carry out a doubtless maintenance routine. Here we have two identical fire extinguishers. Same manufacturer, same construction type, and same construction year. They are both required for inspection. One of them has been inspected. He has been serviced yesterday. What did we do? You know that inner and outer inspection of the vessel. We cared for the weight. We were looking for the seals, for the hoses, for extinguishing agent inside, and for the valves. The other one, the second, is not checked. There is still the old label sticking on it, demonstrating there was a last inspection 2 years ago, and there will be required a new inspection in October 2014 today. What we are doing now, we will attach an identical label onto the unchecked extinguisher. I have to explain that in Germany there's a required maintenance every 2 years. That's the interval in Germany. And this is what we have now documented on this label. Last inspection was in 2012. Now the actual inspection is certified for 10 October 2014, and the next inspection will be in October 2016. Gentlemen, herewith we have documented that this extinguisher was inspected carefully, disassembled, emptied out, refilled, and reassembled. Sealing rings were exchanged if necessary, pressurizing and tightness were ensured. We have certified all steps have been done. And what Mr. Huber did now, in the back of mine, he was making the shell game. He changed them, he interchanged them. Although both extinguishers are now declared to be inspected, they can be put back into circulation in Germany. But now we have exchanged them, anyhow, anywhere. Can any one of you tell me now which one has been checked yesterday? One of them is labeled. The other one is faked. He's forged. Did anyone see? And this is why I'm here, finally. Today we are familiar with the principle of controlling and monitoring by documentation files in all areas of security. Documentation is security standard. If any security service is guarding a building, they are documenting their inspection walk with key systems, electronic key card management on fixed hotspots. Any uninvolved third party will be able to check if the security guard patrolled each part of the building and at which time. No security guard keeps a diary recording his routines, his routes and times manually. Such a documentation is not proof beyond doubt. It could be manipulated, and this is not up to date. That was yesterday. What I demand is that we have a similar hotspot documentation in the maintenance effort of fire extinguishers. I was here, indisputable and unforgeable, and I have done my job. I did empty the container and I made an inner inspection. I tested the pressure, and every neuralgic point I left my signature. And this fire extinguisher worked when I was assembling it, and he is not posing a risk to the user. When my boss, Vollmar General Manager Hubert Zeuner, presented a functioning color documentation system for maintenance record files in Germany, that was some years ago, I guess it was in 1999. He found immediately proponents and opponents. The idea was simply ingenious, let's make fire extinguisher checks transparent. So now just imagine that this is a commercial fire extinguisher. Inside this vessel, all the hotspots are marked. The service technician left his signature here. The color orange is signalizing I was inside, I had a look to the bottom of the container. For those who are standing at the back, this is the bottom of the container. And here's an orange mark inside this extinguisher. And analog to this, you find orange marks at the neuralgic points of the extinguisher too, consistent with the orange maintenance label of the year 2014 at the outer surface. So, today, many company fire brigades in Germany are working with this color documentation system, and they are also private servicing companies that have been licensed themselves and transferred to this FOIMAT policy. Yeah, FOIMAT policy is an abbreviation, FOIMAT for Fire Extinguisher Unforgeable Maintenance Advice in Technical Proceeding, FOIMAT. It's the easiest maintenance record file for quality maintenance in all fire extinguisher stocks. Unpleasant, dusty, and exhausting activities cannot be simply omitted. If someone made his mark inside the bottle, we must have been there. And if someone omitted to sign, he will be committed. So, gentlemen, FOIMAT can be your partner for the controlled introduction of all the thousands of fire extinguishers that you sign responsibility for. Either the introduction of necessary standards, or the provision of tools and workflows, or as a first step, the draw of a specific maintenance record file for your area of authority, together with training of authorized servicing staff and the support in monitoring and implementation of the FOIMAT policy. Let's have a common target: how to increase the reliability of your extinguishers within 2 years to high standard. We have the know-how. You all can profit from this. If I have addressed the level of suffering for this central point of civil security, please leave a contact to us, to Mr. Hubert Zeuner or to mine. You will find us out there in the booth with that smart machine. And a short essay about the FOIMAT policy is handed out to you at this moment with our best recommendations. I thank you for the audience. I hope that we have inspired you for some transparency in extinguishers. And I hope you enjoy these conference days anymore, inshallah. Thank you very much. Shukran.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, there's
A question.
Yeah.
Okay. Microphone.
Good afternoon. This
Good
is
afternoon.
Muhammad Fayaz from NAFCO, Technical Manager.
Yeah.
Before we are going to the subject, I would like to know what is the issue on the manufacturer's side? Because first of all, before you get into the details in explaining to the society, you need to tell them what is the current procedure going on here with the local authorities and the current industry standard. Here, the manufacturers have a scope where their scope can be limited only to the supply of equipments. All right? And there are like hundreds and 200s of maintenance companies who is doing without like maybe as one of the case, like what you have mentioned, maybe without any proper maintenance or maybe with an proper engineered supervision. So this all, it falls on the responsibility of the registered and licensed maintenance companies and the professional manufacturers where they are getting an end result as sufferers. All right. So that has to be your projection of your message. When you give a message to the society, you must start from where the scratches. All right. And the code systems, what you are trying to implement is already here the local authorities are working on the smart system. That's a smart tax system which is coming up for all the people. And believe me, this is going to be a full monitoring system for the entire UAE. And this will give you the complete record on each and every date when the product is coming into the market and how it is supervised, how it is controlled, how it is maintained. And we as NAFCO, we are having an excellent quality control team. And like all the third-party laboratories, like from UL, FM, LPCB, BSI, and VDS, all are working on with us. And we have got 4 awards for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Award for the best quality control in the region. And we have participated in most of these programs where we have explained to the society on how we have identifying the counterfeit products. So first we need to tell the local authorities like how the maintenance companies are destroying the basic activities of even a small maintaining a fire extinguisher or a first aid equipment. You know, so your message has to be more clear in order to get the clear picture on how you have to identify the counterfeit products in the region.
Of course. Thank you very much. See, for your purpose, see this color documentation. See it as just as an option, a perfection of the inner inspection, just to documentate, just
I'm
as
sorry
a present.
to tell you, this is going to end up only in documentation. It's not going to help the society. Who is going to check the documentation? Your facility management? How many facility management you can control?
We will be assisting for all those companies who say we want to implementate quality management, and we will.
It is available with facility management. Take this hotel, you have a facility management here who is having the complete record on what is the building activities going on here and how that is being maintained. But when you go into the details, the labeling, product labeling, there is a standard which the authorities are asked to follow. That labeling and that in and out of the people who is maintaining that particular equipment or related to fire and fire protection system, he should be certified